Welcome to Radio, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6. This is going to be Chapter 22, Guns for Hire. This was an interesting episode, to say the least. I think if you told George Lucas that Lizzo, Jack Black, and Christopher Lloyd would all be in Star Wars, he probably would have shook his head and laughed at you. So this is definitely going to be a bit of a discussion, but hang tight. We'll get right to it. We're going to drop that intro. Stay tuned for another outrageous episode of Star Wars.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last will be last
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into Radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Let's go.
You are now tuned into Lightsaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. We got Chris in the chat, Star Wars team leader. That's it for right now, but I'm sure we'll got more join in later. Man, this was definitely just interesting is what I'll say. Very interesting, huh?
Yes. I think this was the most fan service episode ever, with the most guest stars that you possibly could ever get in an episode. Well, I know they could probably do more, but at the same time, it was an enjoyable episode.
Really? You thought so?
Because I liked seeing the battle droids in the episode, the live action battle droids.
Star Wars team leader. If battle droids could move like that in the Clone Wars, the war would have ended differently. Yeah, dude. That was I'm gonna be honest, like Chris is right. They She-Hulked the shit out of this episode. Man, dude, this episode was brutal. It was brutal for me to get
I'm
through.
not going to say it was good. I'm
Bro,
going to say
it had a droid bar.
It was entertaining because we seen some shit that we've seen before, but in a different manner. So they kind of put a different flip on it because we know that there's been droid bars before. And in the droid bars that we see in like the Clone Wars, there wasn't, like battle droids and shit in there and stuff like that. But there was, it was, we've seen that they've had those type of, environments in the Clone Wars. But this one was kind of, I don't know, the way the droids looked, I was very impressed by how realistic the droids look compared to, back in, the other episodes or any of Star Wars. I mean, the overall CGI.
They did look good.
And stuff was it was phenomenal. Like how good everything looked. The sound was pretty good. There was a couple times like how where blasters or didn't match. I really liked. There was one thing that I hated the most, and I have to give a shout out to Tori because she's the one that said it. She said that, that technically Mandalorian was beaten by the dude on Mandalore, the little weird fucking eyeball thing. And Bo-Katan saved him, and she beat him. So technically, and I was like, dude, he just captured him. Like he didn't fight him or anything, but
Yeah.
They gave it to her at the end. So I was like, oh fuck, man, I was wrong about that shit. So yeah, I was wrong. Tori was right. But I liked it though. I liked the fact that that's the way they did it. I didn't want to see. I like the fact that Wolf
I told you Bo-Katan was going to be in charge. Mando's not going to be the leader, I don't think.
In all honesty, Mando don't want to be in charge.
I know he doesn't.
He doesn't want to be in charge. He
just wants to do his own thing. He's a loner.
But there was a lot of twists and turns in this episode that kind of made it interesting. That's what made it. And I'm not going to say it was good because it was.
It was hot garbage.
It was very hard to watch. Like what the fuck? I'm like what? Oh man, what the fuck?
Dude,
oh.
I'm gonna be honest with
going
you.
on? Like,
This is
what?
probably like the worst episode of Star Wars I've seen since
And what's
fucking
crazy
the
is,
holiday
and what's
special.
crazy, I was looking at some of the reviews for this. This like people are saying this was the best episode there. I was
No.
like, what the fuck is going on?
This is the worst Star Wars I've seen since the holiday special. I'd rather give me Book of Boba Fett, give me any of the sequels. You know how much I hate the sequels.
I'm not
I'd
gonna
take the
say that.
sequels in a heartbeat.
I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, dude, this was so bad.
I'm not gonna say that because I like that they followed the story from last week. Like they're going to get the Mandalorians. Basically, the armor sent them to go do a job. She was like, "You have to go reunite Mandalore." You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think it was going to happen the way that it happened, but it followed the storyline. The storyline of the show, there was actually a storyline in the show. They went somewhere, they had to figure out something.
Right.
Somebody said, you have to do this for us before we'll do this for you, blah, blah, blah. So there was a story to it. So, and it followed through with last week's episode. So it was like, it made things make sense. I like the fact that like I said, the CGI, the battle droids and stuff like that looked very good. There was one thing I was like, dude, they're never going to catch this thing. They're going to get tired. It's not going to get tired. This can run forever. It's a robot. And then they caught it. And I was like, what the hell was that? That was kind of stupid. I didn't like that part either. I was like, I did like the fact that I got to see my girl on there because, you know, she fine as hell. The one chick, the Mandalorian chick, I can't think of her name right there. The MMA.
I thought you were
chick.
talking about Lizzo. I was like,
No, not
Kyle's got
Lizzo.
the hots for Lizzo.
I'd give it to Lizzo. She's rich. I'll Kevin Federline her ass and knock her up and get half her money. But I really didn't like. I really didn't like Jack Black and Lizzo in there. Sasha Banks, thank you, Chris. Sasha Banks is fine. And I was happy to see her and Wolf and other Mandalorians back. I did not like Jack Black and Rizzo's characters.
Oh, so bad.
Dude,
they should have called that Planet Cupcake or Planet fucking Snowflake, for example. Like, dude, worst planet ever. Oh my God. Lazy ass planet. They're like, oh, the droids do everything. We just sit around and do recreation.
Chris
What
makes
the
a perfect example. George Lucas turned down Michael Jackson to play Jar Jar because he didn't want Star Wars to outshine or stars to outshine the story. This was a prime example of how well known names can distract you from the shit episode. That was probably the worst part of the episode. Like, and then their characters were just so fucking like teddy bear. I feel like I was watching Powerpuff Girls or something with my daughters. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is like the most, like, who wants to live like, who would want to live like that? Like, droids just do everything and all you do is just fucking pamper and eat and fucking, like, dude, that would be no fucking fun whatsoever. Like, that would not be fun. Like, you got to have some distraction. You got to have conflict in your life sometimes to make life interesting. And everything there is just like perfect. Like, I was just like, dude, this is so annoying. Like, I want to punch all you people in the face. Like,
dude, I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that whole part.
It was
now, the droid part.
It was a heaping pile of hot garbage.
I'm not going to say it was that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad because there was a lot of good things. And I'm trying to look at it. I'm trying to look at the whole thing. There was a story. The story wasn't bad. The people that they put to play the actors in the parts of the story was terrible. The CGI was really good.
It seemed like, hey, let's all get together and make a Saturday Night Live Star Wars. Like, but at the same time, try to be serious about it. No, the entire time it just felt like, what is going on? This feels cheap. It feels bloated. It just, God.
The choreographed fight between Wolf or whatever his name is, and Bo-Katan.
Axe something, yeah.
Yeah, Axe Wolf. I think that's his name. Axe
Wolf. Yeah,
some shit like that. I liked it, but at the same time, it was very poorly choreographed. Like, there was more. Instead of actual, like, hand-to-hand combat, there was more like, let me hit you with my rocket booster, let me grab you with this harpoon thingy, which was cool because that's how you would think that's how Mandalorians would fight. So I see where they were going with it. It just didn't. It was very distasteful. It just didn't seem like it just didn't seem right for some reason. You think you guys are challenging each other to the death because that's basically what a Mandalorian fight is supposed to be, to the death. She didn't kill him, which I understand. They need all the Mandalorians they can get to accomplish whatever goal they got set that we still don't know about.
Right. How many episodes are in this season?
8. And we're already
what the fuck are we doing?
We're already 6.
We only have 2 left.
So they're gonna have to make these last two. I like the way that
this is the worst season of Star Wars that I've ever seen. Oh no,
I don't know. I still think Book of Boba Fett was worse than this.
I don't know, dude.
But I didn't like the choreographed fight at the end. I didn't like the fact. I did like the directing strategy that they use, which our girl directed it. So I like the way she directs. So I'm kind of biased to that because I really like the way
Bryce
she.
Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
I like her directing technique. I liked her camera movements, the way that she did things. All that stuff was really, really good. But there was just, I don't know. It made me feel confused. Like when I was watching, I'm like, dude, what is the purpose of this? Like the whole little, like the droid stuff was cool. Them fighting the droid was cool. You know what I'm saying? Them showing the discussing with the Ugnaughts was cool. Except what really ruined it for me was the Jack Black and Rizzo part and all that.
Jack Black and Lizzo. Christopher Lloyd, I love Christopher Lloyd. Great Scott. But everything, it felt like the Star Wars special where everything was cheesy, not well thought out, very basic, and just.
That's the crazy thing. It was so simplified that it made it confusing. Dude, I was confused because I was like, dude, what is the purpose of this? Why are we doing it? What is going on? Why are we really? You're two dope-ass Mandalorians in a city that is full of pampered babies, and they're telling you what to do? It's Bo-Katan and Din Djarin.
Bro,
and
my
you got
thing
these
is
pampered ass people telling you that you can't go see other Mandalorians. Screw you, I'm just gonna go do it.
Why even help this city, dude?
Why didn't they just land out there?
The entire city doesn't even work. They're lazy motherfucker. How is that the ideal city? This is terrible. And then Chris makes a great point. What is Grogu's purpose? I honestly think he should have stayed with Luke. He's become a glorified pet now.
I did like that part though, how he helped Lizzo cheat to win. I was using the Force. I was like, yeah, that's good right there. That made me laugh.
And then the droid bar where droids are going to hanging out at what in the fuck?
They had a droid bar in Clone Wars though. There's a droid bar in Clone Wars. So
stupid.
It didn't make sense in Clone Wars. It didn't make sense here. Why are droids going to a bar? But I understand. But then it's okay, they're in there getting what they would consider drunk. You know what I'm saying? They're getting lubed up or whatever it is that's happening to them. And somebody put some nanobites or some robot.
Nanobots,
nanobot things in their drink. Dude, that's so basically they got
roofied.
And they got
the droids
roofied.
got
the droids got roofied. I was just sitting there what the hell? Like I said, it was very simple and basic, but it was confusing because it's what is the purpose of this? Why is this happening? Why? I don't care about none of this. I want to see some action. And then the action was at the very end. The real action was at the very end because Din jumping out of the thing and knocking a battle droid over. I was just okay, he's just kicking battle droids over and shit. I'm like, dude, come on, man. These are battle droids. They're not that easy. I've watched Clone Wars. They don't just fall over when you kick them. You know what I'm saying?
I think we saw a clone even try that. He punches a battle droid, ends up hurting his arm, and then dies. I'm pretty sure we watched that.
I was like, it just. Dude, I wanted to say that. We don't serve your kind here. Why didn't they say that? See, Chris says, I didn't like the callback to A New Hope where the bartender says, we don't serve your kind. kind to the droids, and then all the droids in the bar then goes, I don't think they serve us. Like, my thing was like, I was waiting to hear that. We don't serve your kind, and they didn't say it. It kind of pissed me off. Like,
Right.
I just, like, it bothered me. Like, dude, I was waiting for it and it didn't happen. That was like one of the that was going to be my Easter egg point out. Did y'all like that? And then they didn't even do it. And I was like, what the hell? But
Yeah, I
then
was
Den
like,
says
come
it.
on,
It
man.
just, it was stupid to have Den say it. You're supposed to have the robot say it. It don't make no sense if the robot doesn't say it. I don't know. It was just, it was. I liked it, but I didn't like it. I liked the fact. I like the part that has to do with the production. The production of it was good. The story was okay.
I mean, when you got money, I mean, that's
It just
never
didn't-
been. Disney's never struggled with production. They have enough money to make
What are you talking about? That shit
garbage
was,
look decent.
nah, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, the production in that was terrible. It was just so bad. Like, dude, what are y'all doing, man?
Fair,
So
fair.
it was the story wasn't. It wasn't the story itself wasn't bad. It was just unnecessary. It was very just like you didn't need it. Like, what is the why? And that's what that's why I tried. I watched it this morning. Then I came home this afternoon and I watched it again. And I was like, okay, let me watch it again, because the first time I'm watching it, I just watch it basically just to watch it, like just a fan. The second time I watch it, I usually watch it to check for Easter eggs. I look for, you know what I'm saying, production value, music, you know, the different things that has to do with the second time I watch it. And the second time I watched it, it was a lot more entertaining just because of how good it was done. The story kind of got lackluster the second time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? There's some action there. You know what I'm saying? There's some good parts. There's a little bit of funny parts. You know, Bo-Katan's talking shit to the Ugnaughts, and they're like, bitch, we're not going to help you. And then Den saves her ass and explains why. I liked all that back and forth between all that stuff that was going on. There was just, I just didn't find, it was like, this is not necessary. Like, why didn't they just land by the Mandalorians?
Yeah,
why would
dude.
you land over here by the city when you flew over the ships?
Their thing did get like they took control of their ship, so they couldn't really control it. But at the same time, like, bro, like,
But really?
what is this planet?
But like, really? You know what I'm saying? I was like, really? They took over your ship, your Mandalorians, and you just flew onto this planet and they instantly took over your ship and you have nothing to combat this? Whatsoever? Nothing to combat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are Mandalorians. You guys are like the most
Yeah, dude.
feared people in the galaxy when it comes to like battle. And you fly out, like, so if all the Mandalorians came to conquer this planet, they could just take over all your ships and y'all would be screwed. Y'all couldn't do anything.
Like,
It was simple things like that that's what made it not as good as I think it could have been. It was just the little simple, just dumb things like, what the hell? Like, this, what is going on? Why? Like, you know, but I like the shout out that he gives to the Ugnaught from the one that rebuilt IG-80 or IG-88, yeah, or is IG-11? Which one was the one from season 1? My brain is going blank right now.
Yeah, IG-88 or something.
Yeah, IG-88.
Yeah.
When he mentions
Chris
him,
makes a good point. If remote pilot takeover was a thing, how did the Empire never have that?
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And
Like that sure would have come in handy when they were attacking the Death Star.
you know, there was a lot of things that just, you know, it's like, dude, sometimes I question if these people have ever watched Star Wars. And I know John has. So it's like, John, you didn't know that they don't have remote piloting takeover shit? You didn't know that they don't have that? You didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, it just.
It was just.
That's why, you know, when I first.
I don't see. You have like redeeming. I didn't see much redeeming qualities for it. I mean, I saw a lot of people thought it was fun. I didn't even think it was fun. It just felt too like too cupcakey to even be fun. It felt like there should be ponies and unicorns running around in the background, and that's not what I came to watch.
Star Wars team leader says, "Please tell me that was one of the planets the Star Killer base blew up."
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. They're on the outer rim though, so you know
I'd
what
rather
I'm saying?
live in Tatooine. Like, golly.
Like, yeah, I don't think it was, but I hope that's one of the first planets that the First Order just like blows the hell up. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
probably why the First Order existed, was planets like that.
I mean, dude, everybody knows, like, and John should know this as a filmmaker, as somebody that is a filmmaker that wrote this. They explained it in The Matrix. You cannot have a perfect planet. If everybody is happy, the shit doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, why is everybody so damn happy? Everybody just eating and happy and playing games and walking around, and the droids do all their work and everything and do everything.
That's
it's
terrible.
Like, dude,
that's not a
but see,
good thing.
And that was a contradiction because he says, Christopher Lloyd says, the droids do all the work so everybody can be comfortable, but you're in here working. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is not getting the droids to do all their work for them because you guys are in here working. So I was like, dude, that's like, you know, Chris says Bryce Dallas Howard had a good run too with Mandalore episodes until now. And I don't think it's just the way that John wrote it. I know. And this is the thing about John. If you go back and you look at some of the things that John has produced over there, I mean, he got like Lion King, he got, you know, live action, what the hell, Jungle Book.
I mean,
you know,
I didn't really like the live action Lion King, to be honest.
I don't think he did the live action Lion King.
Oh.
I know he did the Jungle Book. But if you ever look at like some of his movies, they're always feel good type things. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it's feel good. Let's be happy. You know what I'm saying? Bad stuff happens, but we're still gonna feel happy type stuff. That's just the way that he writes. And I think because season 1 and 2 were written by John and Dave, you know, and some of the other directors, it wasn't. It had now with just John writing all the episodes, it's kind of like we don't want. It's the Mandalorian. It's supposed to be action-packed, whoop-ass. It's supposed to be a space cowboy movie. You know what I'm saying? Basically, a cowboy show in space. That's what it's supposed to. It's gunslinging. It's, you know, it's hard times. You know, the Republic just took over. There's a whole conversion of the New Republic, and the Empire, still the remnants of the Empire, and we're getting these feel-good episodes, and it's like, all right, you know, it's not really what I was expecting, but it's there.
That was feel-good? Dude,
it
was...
It's not supposed to be...
I felt like, dude, the Lego Star Wars holiday specials had a more complex plot than this.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it's hard for me just to bash it because there was things in it that I liked, but there just wasn't enough there to like make it like when I watched Star Wars, like when we first watched season 1 of Mandalorian, it was memorable. Like it was
amazing.
Season 2.
It redeemed Star Wars, right? It was what we'd all been waiting for.
And now it's like, what am I watching? What is this again? Is this like a new TV show that has some of the same characters in the other TV show? Because this is not the same Star Wars that we got. Even the second season, and there was a few of the episodes in the second season that I didn't really care for, but it was more gritty. It was more, you know what I'm saying, like in your face type of that cowboy in space type thing. And I'm not getting that in this season. And there's like, it still sucks because we really do not know what they're doing. Like we're 6 episodes in, and we still don't know what the goal of, like, the first 2 episodes, first 2 seasons, the goal was to get Grogu somewhere. I don't see the direction of this. I mean, they told us.
It's just hard to see how this is even the same show anymore. It doesn't even feel like the same show. This doesn't feel like Mandalorian anymore. Like, what's happening? This is like a completely different direction.
I mean,
Like this has to I don't. Oh man, sorry.
And it honestly could be one of those things, and I'm kind of hoping this is what it is.
They're purposely making it bad.
They're purposely making it bad so the fourth season will be fucking spectacular because they saved everything for the fourth season.
See, but that to me, that's just taking your fans for granted because you keep doing garbage like this, you're gonna have people just stop watching.
But we still got 2 more episodes, and we know at some point that they're gonna have some point Moff Gideon's gonna come back into this. And I have a feeling that the Mandalorians is gonna be who the Republic calls upon. The new Republic, and I kind of didn't like that they didn't even show any of the other parts when it comes to the new Republic and the Beskar thing. I kind of wanted that answered, and they didn't answer that. I hate when people leave you at a cliffhanger and then they don't explain the cliffhanger in the next episode. I hate that. I think that's one of the reasons that I was now, and this just came to me, but I think that's one of the reasons that kind of irritated me the most about this. It's like you just got all this unnecessary crap going on, but you're not, going in the direction of the cliffhanger that you left us on last week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not. We're still stuck on this cliffhanger because now we want to know what the New Republic's going to do about the Beskar. We want to know what's going on with Zeb. You didn't have Zeb in this episode. You know what I'm saying? Is Zeb going to go with it? We want to know how the Mandalorians is going to react to it when they come. Because the New Republic is going to come and question the Mandalorians. There's all these questions, and then you just give us basically a fluff episode. They has some cool stuff in it. We got to see, Bo-Katan become the leader of the Mandalorians. We got to see, some fighting. We got to see some stuff going on in the planet that we've never seen before. But at the same time, it didn't, even though it flowed with the story that left off with, her taking off her helmet, they left out another whole complete part of the story from last episode that they could have, in 42 minutes, they could have hit both of them. We didn't need to watch Bo-Katan and Din Djarin the whole time. We didn't need to watch them. They could have jumped over and had the New Republic come to where the Mandalorians is at and question even the armor. And the armor was like, she could have just held it up in the air and looked at it and said, this is not Beskar that was forged from one of our forges.
Right.
Simple. If they would have just put that little part in there, it would have made the episode a lot better because it would have explained something. It would have took a little bit from that.
We would have gotten some kind of progression.
Yeah. This one was just progression of Bo-Katan becoming the leader of Mandalore, which we knew was going to happen. Basically, the armor told her that's what she was going to go do, and then they went and did it. So, the progression of the story still happened, but it just wasn't enough of the story to really.
But there was so much more that we could have done. So much. This was an episode about earning the Mandalorians' trust again and becoming leader of Mandalorians, the most badass Star Wars group that we know of, and you made it an episode about cupcakes and butterflies. Basically. What in the hell?
Basically. Because that, I really wanted to slap everybody on that planet. Like, y'all are the most spoiled. Like, people are like, oh my God, the droid threw something. Dude, like, Jesus Christ, man, why ain't y'all? Did not one person even try to stop the droid? Not one person.
Yeah. And I thought we had a lot of fruitcakes in the world we live in today, but wow, this is way worse.
Chris said, I've been seeing a lot of talk about the Nelson rating, or however you say it, report the last few days, and Mando is tanking. Bob Iger needs to step up and fix this shit, and fast. You know it would really suck.
What?
You know it would really, 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 really suck if they're purposely tanking this to get rid of Star Wars, to cancel the Star Wars, or to sell Star Wars to somebody else. If Disney is purposely doing this just to get rid of Star Wars. Oh my
God. Ruining Star Wars to sell it? What? That doesn't make sense though, because then they'd have to sell it for cheap.
If they're losing money on it, any money that they make would be better than just keep losing money.
Then why not just stop making it?
Because they got to keep making it. It's part of their brand. It's part of the Disney Plus brand. You just stop making Star Wars altogether, the Marvel is not big enough to carry especially the Marvel TV shows that they put on, is not big enough to carry.
Well, the thing is, Marvel was big enough. It's all these recent shows Disney's kind of been tanking on.
I think
Everybody
a lot
was
of it,
obsessed with Marvel until the most recent Marvel started coming out, and a lot of people didn't like him.
I haven't seen one Marvel show that I've liked yet. I mean, Loki was kind of all right. The episodes I've seen.
Yeah, after Loki,
Arrow,
like you talk about like She-Hulk. She-Hulk
was
had
terrible.
some of the worst reviews.
Winter Soldier and
Oh yeah, the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, that one was good. So I mean, I guess they're about 50-50 on everything that they put out. Some of them's good, some of it's bad. And I don't know. I get that. It might just be a rebranding. They're just trying to get everything together, and they need to get new writers, and they're trying to. Hopefully, Bob figures this shit out, because
I'm telling you, you're gonna start losing Star Wars fans really quick.
I don't know if you'll. The problem with us Star Wars fans is all the same. We're fucking diehard Star Wars fans. We'll watch the most garbage shit ever and be like, oh fuck you, who talk shit about it.
And they take us for granted.
They do.
But pretty soon, I think you're gonna come to a point where if it keeps getting this bad, people are gonna stop watching.
Well, it's crazy because when I was looking at social media today and stuff like that, people are fucking all over the like. If I'm not mistaken, it came up on like my Google News. Fans rating this episode 22 of Mando the best episode ever, and I'm like, dude,
I was looking
fuck
and
they
talking
like about? Like,
I literally like the first when I googled like review of this latest Mandalorian episode. And it was like terrible. It said, is an overly bloated exposition dump that leans too heavily on distracting cameos. I've seen dump. I've seen garbage. I've seen ill-timed. I've seen a quest that goes nowhere.
And I think a lot of it has to do because we don't have no plot point to this shit. Like I said, one of the biggest problems, Mando 1, he comes out, he's a bounty hunter. He's collecting bounties. Then he goes through it. Basically, the whole first season is explaining who Mando is. Then he finds Grogu. Second season was about finding Grogu somewhere to go. We knew that from the very beginning. Like, as soon as he turns him in, he has a change of heart. He goes back and gets him. It's all about finding Grogu, a Jedi, or his people. We had a plot point from like the very beginning. We had plot points for the first 2 seasons. And then the story told to the plot point. This, we don't have a plot point. Like, we really do not know what's going on. And, like, what is the purpose of all this stuff? We know that they're going to Mandalore for some reason, but he already went there. It's trash. So why would they try to take it back over? They're not going to try to do it. They got a new home with Navarro. So it's like, dude, now it's just about combining the clans together. Okay, that's cool. But, like Star Wars team leader, they're going to leave us at the end of the season with Grogu falling off a rail car over a canyon, LOL.
Dude.
If they leave us on a cliffhanger with Mando, I think that will probably be one of the worst things that they could do. And I have a feeling that Star Wars team leader is right. Chris says people are saying they hate this. It's the jumping the shark moment for Mando, and I kind of agree. If they don't do something to blow us away the last 2 episodes, I'm afraid these consequences might fall on Ahsoka.
Well, my thing is like, dude, I'm really worried Ahsoka's going to turn out to be the same hot pile of garbage.
Only reason I question the difference, because you can see John wrote all these episodes of Mandalorian. It says on every one of them, writer Jon Favreau. Dave wrote Ahsoka, and Dave wrote Ahsoka based on where she left off in Rebels, which he wrote Rebels. He wrote a lot of the Clone Wars, him and George. Mm-hmm. So Dave has more, that's his character. So I think he's going to write a way better story than what John is writing with The Mandalorian. The problem with season 1 and season 2 of Mandalorian, they were written by Dave and John. Now, Dave didn't write none of the 3rd season, and I'm thinking the 4th season too. I have to go look it up to find out if he wrote the 4th season or not. Because Dave has been focusing on Ahsoka. And the chick that helped write Ahsoka with Dave, she's a phenomenal writer. So, and she's really good at putting the, action pack, putting stuff together right way, bringing in emotion. She's an emotional writer, so she knows how to bring emotion into a situation. And since Ahsoka's based a lot about her emotions, her being basically Anakin's Padawan, being, kind of do it my way type feelings. Right. And then as she got older, she was a little bit more sentimental. She was better at being a teacher to Ezra and Kanan, and doing that type of stuff. So I think she'll bring that emotional part in. Dave is going to bring in more of the action and the storyline. And Dave's story is linear. He writes in a linear manner. When he writes everything out to the end, and then that's
so hope is not lost. You're saying,
yeah, hope is not lost, and I have high hopes for Ahsoka. I could be wrong though; they could just screw the pooch on it, And there's been multiple. The only thing that worries me about the Acolyte, it was multiple writers. There's been a whole bunch of different writers that wrote different episodes. So
my hopes for the Acolyte are very low now. I'm going to be honest.
They're all good writers. They're all science fiction writers, but I don't know if they all fit to the Star Wars brand. And this is all speculation because this is just what I've read. I don't know if this is true or not. But it just, they gotta do something spectacular in these last couple episodes, or it's just gonna be.
You're gonna be in trouble.
Yep. And that's basically how I feel. Dave is like the parent, John is the teenager. The moment that Dave goes on vacation, John trashes the house with a party where no one is laughing at the end. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too, Chris.
What was your favorite part then, if you had a favorite part?
My favorite part.
Crickets.
Ultimately, my favorite part, I have several parts that I really enjoy. Like the first, when they walked up on the battle droid for the first time, and he's like, "You're not supposed to be here." I really like that part. The battle droid looked phenomenal in there. That was probably some of the best CGI that I've seen.
It did look good. The battle droid looked good.
But I probably have to say when Din give, even though I hate being proved wrong, I have to say when Din gave the
Darksaber over?
Bo-Katan the Darksaber.
Really?
I like that part. I liked her just because she's supposed to have it. Like nobody ever really at least to our knowledge, nobody ever really beat Bo-Katan and took it. Took it away from her in battle. It was kind of stolen from her. So to see her to get it back, it's the only part of the show that really gave me an emotional response. And like I said, I read a lot of things. How does this make me feel emotionally? And it gave me a sense of pride. I was happy for her. It was exciting to see that she's going to be the ones that's going to combine the two tribes together, the sects of Mandalorians together for whatever's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm speculating that it's going to be a battle with the Empire and Moff Gideon. And I think it's going to be the Mandalorians, and the Mandalorians is going to come to the rescue of the New Republic. And that's going to be another stepping stone in order to get us to the First Order, where the First Order actually starts. Hopefully, by the last, and I'm not even going to say hopefully, we can probably expect in the last episode to see Thrawn. I think he's going to be that star character that last.
You think so?
I think so. I have a gut feeling that we're going to see Thrawn for the first time in the last.
And to me, just with how the rest of all of this has gone, it's going to feel so cheap. You made just so this is the worst season of Mandalorian we've seen, without a doubt. And you think you're going to fix it by just throwing Thrawn in at the end? I don't know. That just
the only reason I say that.
Me.
The only reason I say that because we know the next live action is Ahsoka. So they got to introduce Thrawn. And then if you think back, season 1, we got Grogu for the first time. Season 2, we got Luke. Season 3, it's got to be a big character. And it got to be a character that's going to lead us to the other characters. So I have a feeling that it's going to be Thrawn. But then, and it leaves
if you think about it, they need it because they need a big name to get people.
then it sparks the curiosity, and it kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. Where the hell is Ezra? If Thrawn's already back, then where's Ezra at this point? Like, where's Ezra? Did Thrawn, like, leave him stranded on some fucking planet? Or, you know what I'm saying? Where is Ezra? Because there's a reason that Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn. Because basically she wants to find Ezra. Her whole objective is not to stop Thrawn, is to find her friend. Because that's the way that Ahsoka rolls. Ahsoka kind of does shit off of her feelings. And he saved her. He pulled her out of the world between worlds and Rebels. So since he did that, she has to save him. So she needs to find Thrawn to find out where Ezra is at. So that's, I see it all tying together. Chris makes a very good point. This is how the episode should have gone. They find out early that Lloyd is the character being behind the droids.
Right.
He presses the buttons. The droids attack the whole city. Mando fights together and reunites the Mandalorians. I also think that Bo should have formally challenged them for the Darksaber. We learned that her claim for after Sabine was weak. Now it's another, he said, moment where she is gifted.
Yeah, it was
technicality.
It was a stupid technicality.
And I mean, in all reality, you're supposed to win the Darksaber in combat, and you know she didn't win it from Sabine. Sabine just gave it to her. So technically, if you go back to the reality of the situation, because did Sabine even? No, Sabine won it in combat. So. No, Sabine didn't even win it. Who does the Darksaber belong to now?
Bro.
Like, really belong to, because Sabine didn't win it.
Who cares at this point?
What's going on, Bodie Collections? But I did like the fact that she get it. So that was probably my favorite part, that she got the thing. That was the only thing that really caused me, other than anger and distaste in the episode. That was like the part that I was like, I'm glad to see she got it back, and because in all technicality, even if you don't even go off the Darksaber, her sister's dead, her father's dead. She is the rightful heir to Mandalore. So she should be the leader of the Mandalorians. Because as soon as her sister died, she should have took over as being the actual leader of Mandalore. So to see her get back to the point where she's the leader, that brought a little bit of it brought a little happiness to my soul.
It brought some happiness. I think my favorite part of this mess was probably the beginning. The beginning of the show, I actually kind of had high hopes because I was like, oh, we're seeing what the other Mandalorians are doing. Like, badass Mandalorians, let's go. And they look kind of cool in their Imperial ship that they had. I'm like, oh, all right. They're getting shit done. They got this whole ass ship. They got this whole ass fleet. Like,
we didn't even talk about the love affair in the beginning between the Mon Calamarian and
oh God, it made me want to vomit though. That
dude,
part,
the way that her fucking face reached up and touched his face, I was like, oh God, that's so fucking nasty. Yeah.
It was so bad. That's true.
And this is two planets that can't stand each other. They've been at war for like 1 billion years.
Yeah, that was, although that was kind of cheap. Like, you tried to do like a little Romeo and Juliet thing here.
Like, I was just sitting there like, dude, what the hell is this? Like, I was watching that like, what the fuck? This is terrible. Why are they even doing this? And then her face went up. It was like, I was like, this is just so nasty.
Oh yeah, that was
so
pretty
Chris
bad.
says, technically Luke, Sidious defeated Maul, Vader defeated Sidious, while simultaneously Luke defeated Vader. But I don't think Maul had the Darksaber then. Because Maul didn't get the Darksaber until what, season 6? But when he fought Sidious was back when he had Savage, because Sidious killed Savage. So technically, it's whoever defeated. Actually, it would be Ahsoka.
At what point does it just fucking reset?
Because he didn't have the Darksaber when Ahsoka defeated him. He was already in hiding. Shit, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Rebels again because I gotta figure this shit out. It's gonna fuck with me now. I gotta think about it.
At what point does it just reset? And whoever has it, you can have it.
Who defeated all AUL to win Darksaber.
When you're ready, what was your
Ahsoka
score?
Tano. Yeah, so Ahsoka Tano, and thus Maul became the wielder of the revered blade. Technically speaking, he was defeated by Ahsoka Tano during the siege of Mandalore, though he wasn't using the weapon at the time. So yeah, Ahsoka was the rightful heir. Ahsoka gave it, but Ahsoka didn't give it to Sabine. So how did... fuck, I'll have to look it up. We'll talk about it. There was another point, and I wanted to bring this up. I think it was Bodhi. It might have been Clint. I can't remember. Somebody put it in the chat on Saturday, last Saturday.
What?
I was just reading what Chris was putting down. But somebody put in the chat, how did the Jedi know about the rule of two? If Bane kept it hidden, kept the Sith hidden all the way up until Maul showed himself for the first time, how the hell did the
I don't
fucking
think he
Jedi...
did keep him hidden for that entire time.
Who else knew about it? Like, didn't nobody...
Apparently
like,
they
Bane,
did.
Like, that was like one of the rule of two fucking things.
Yeah,
you
but
gotta
there's
stay
like
hidden.
gaps where we don't know anything.
That's
and
the only
so
thing I
I'm
could come
assuming
up
the
with.
Sith must have tried something at some point.
Because they asked that question, I was like, shit, I don't know. And like, I didn't get a chance to look it up, so I was like, dude, I'm gonna bring it up. Maybe somebody in the chat will know, because like, how the hell did the Jedi find out about the rule of two if they didn't even believe that the
Sith
Did,
existed.
the Sith existed? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they know about the rule of two if they thought the Sith were dead? Like, how did they even know? Like, did the Force tell them? Like, does anybody know the answer to this?
I don't know. I'm just assuming, like, obviously somebody must have, like, a Sith must have tried something somewhere along the line.
Yeah, Chris says Maul fought Sidious with Savage and Sidious defeated Maul, but because Sidious really didn't care about technicalities, that is where it would have been transferred. But Maul didn't have it yet. Maul didn't have the Darksaber yet.
All right, what would you rate?
Ancient Six Cave paintings? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. Ratings, I'm gonna give it a 5. Just because I like all the... Yeah,
Generous.
I'm gonna give it a 5 just because the things that I did like and the production of it was just phenomenal. I have to give points for the production value. It was, even though it was a couple times that the blaster point...
I can deal with some iffy production value if like the story goes well and makes sense.
Well, that's the reason I didn't rate it lower than that, is because the story, it made sense. It just was pointless.
It was stupid.
But it still flowed.
It's like comparing.
You
got like Magnificent Seven, this most recent Magnificent Seven, and you're comparing it to like the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Obviously, the production in Magnificent Seven is better. It's newer. They got money. But the Good, Bad, the Ugly is obviously going to be a better show.
I don't know. The Magnificent Seven was pretty good, though.
Compared to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Get out of here.
Compared to Good, Bad, and Ugly, because Good, Bad, and Ugly
I put it at a 2.
That was probably one of the...
Hot garbage.
I wouldn't put it down. Because the story, it still was linear. It still moved up to where they were
just because it's linear doesn't make it good.
It just... The fluff that was involved within the story didn't need to be there. Like Chris said, if it happened like that, and then they got to the Mandalorians, or if they would have just landed there, and even if the Mandalorians would have said, we can't leave, even though, you know what I'm saying, whatever the situation, because we have, you know what I'm saying, prior arrangements with this planet, that would have made more more sense.
Right.
And the story would have been better. But the story did flow with last week's story, and it did lead up to where we needed it to lead up to, with Bo-Katan becoming or joining the two tribes together, because basically that's her job. That's what the armor said that she was meant to do. And it did lead up to that point. Just the fluff part of the story just was not needed. So I'm not saying that the story is good. It still was. It led us to the point that we needed to go. I think they could have done way better in leading us to that point, and they could have added a lot more shit that I really care about that I didn't care about these pampered ass people. But it still led us to the point. So I couldn't take, like, usually I rate everything like 2 for story, 2 for, I gave the story a 1. And then I went on to the next thing and went up. That's how I got to 5. Because it was still led us to where we needed to go. It just a pointless way of doing it.
No. I think it was a 2. I think it was the worst Star Wars I've seen since
the
the
worst
holiday
Star Wars
special.
I seen was the freaking Boba Fett riding them fucking cart riding kids and shit. That shit was fucking dumb.
Yeah, which I
that
also
shit
rated as like a 3, or which I rated as
That
a
shit
3.
was
I
fucking
think
dumb as fuck. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
I rated that as a 3, and this I think
like,
was worse. This was so
even
bad.
Kenobi had better story, but the production value was getting 0 every time because of the camera shake and just that shit was just garbage. It was terrible. Like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like what the fuck are you like? I can't even watch it. I can't understand the story if I can't focus on anything because the camera's just doing this the whole damn time. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I can't do it. Like, it's bothering me. It's giving me a headache.
All right.
Bodie said this episode was another 9 for me. Okay.
Yeah, I
Bodie.
think he's just trolling.
Okay.
Just ignore it.
Bodie, I got to ask you. I want you to give me 5 reasons that you rated this a number 9. Give me 5 examples what made this a 9. Put it in the chat. Let me know.
Oh, I thought he was just trolling. I wasn't even going to give it.
No, I wanted his response because I want to laugh at something. Star Wars Team Leader says 4 because Jack Black took me out of the show. All I could see was him and not his character. And like watching Jack Black, I don't know. I just got like when he was talking and stuff. I just
it wasn't good.
No, I just every time he would talk or anything, I just got that where in Jumanji.
Yeah, it feels like a cringy joke. Yeah,
look at this. I have a penis. Like, dude, this
it just everything felt like a cringy, weird joke.
Like, that shit just bothered the shit out of me. Lizzo was not bad. She wasn't good neither, but she wasn't bad to play that, the way that she talked and everything, to play her part. She played her part well. But it just was, like I said, it was pointless. And it was like, dude, you guys, I want to smack you in the mouth. You guys are just like the freaking pamperedest ass people I've ever seen. It was just,
I don't know.
It just was not good. But
it was just
like
garbage.
Production value, I liked that the story led us to where we needed to go. I didn't like the story. I just liked how it led us to where we needed to go. They could have skipped all that middle and just got right to the point. I liked the battle points that they had. You know what I'm saying? They had some good battle, like them chasing after the droid. All that shit looked good. I liked the droid, the CGI and the effects that they used. I liked the music was good. Everything flowed really. The episode itself flowed really, really well. It got us to where we wanted to go. To me, it was just pointless. So, like, I had to take points off. Like, okay, you just gave us something that we really didn't want. Like, nobody wanted to see this episode. Like, nobody wanted to see these pampered ass people. So I took both of them points. Like, it was just nonsense. I took 2 points for that. The story could have just been better. it could have just been better. And then I took a point for the sound effects because there was, like I said, there were several times that the blasters didn't match up with the sound. All the rest of the production was great though. And well, I would really technically have to give it 4 because I guess.
So 4 or 5?
I'm staying with 5, but.
You baby.
Like they just put 2. There was more aliens in this. I have to give it that.
Yeah, Kyle got his aliens.
There was more aliens. Somebody was listening to.
Oh, jeez, I can't even.
I
No, it
don't
was
agree with
just
you on
terrible.
character development. I seem like the characters got like there was less character development. Like I lost respect for some of the characters and the character development in this. Like I didn't get that. I did like that they had like a lot of them is very good points, and them are some of the points that I picked too. The CGI was just that shit was phenomenal. The droid running, it looked so realistic. The droid standing there when they was talking to him, when he was kicking the droids, because you got to remember he's kicking something there ain't nothing there. It shit looked realistic. It just was stupid because you're not going to kick over a battle droid. You know what I'm saying? Not going to happen. You're not strong enough to kick over a battle droid. So, but there was enough there to make it a 5, but there wasn't enough there to make it good. That's how I'm going to say it. That's what I'm
right.
going to leave it at.
Do we want to move on to news?
Yeah, let's get to some news and shit. I ain't even looked at no news and rumors.
I only have two.
Okay,
One,
I'll look.
they're in talks to possibly bring Donald Glover in for a Lando series or a Lando movie. But again, it's all just speculation, so not much really there besides that, which we've already been talking about that for a while. The other one I had,
it's going to have to be a series because right here it says Solo 2 may not be happening, but Star Wars has revealed how the story of Emily Clark, Kira, ends in the original trilogy. Warning spoilers. Let me go through here and read this right quick. Among the characters 2000 Emily Clark, blah, blah, Solo.
Which I could definitely see Disney doing a Lando
so in
series.
one of there's a comic scene in 2021 when she has revealed as a major player of the War of the Bounty Hunters crossover event that Solo, having ended the Kira heading to meet Darth Maul, who was the leader of Crimson Dawn crime syndicate at the time. War of the Bounty had caught up with her in the years between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and now with her now leading Crimson Dawn. Kira returns following the event Kremlin Reign and Hidden Empire, the later in which ended today with the 5th issue on the main ministry. Unfortunately, it ends with Kira dying. So basically she dies. Basically Darth Vader kills her. So
right.
There's no that's in the comic books.
It seems like something Disney would do is doing a Lando series, to be honest.
If they did a Lando series,
that just
which
seems
they
like
said that.
That feels
that
like
was
Disney.
announced that they were supposed to do a Lando series. That's what's crazy. That was announced. What else do you got?
Starting in October, the Galactic Star Cruiser is shutting down midweek. They're only going to be open on like weekends.
No. Oh, this shit was
like only on Fridays and Sundays so like you'll only be able to start going like on Fridays and Sundays.
To where? Disney
so
World?
like it'll still be open for like Monday, Tuesday, but like you can't check in. You can only check in on Fridays and Sundays.
Wow.
And then they might do like holiday weeks, but yeah.
It says
because they're having trouble filling capacity.
Lego's got the new X-Wing. You see that?
Yeah, the new X-Wing. Yeah.
That shit got 1,949 piece Lego X-Wing.
It's expensive too.
I bet you that shit is. Fuck. But Jesus Christ, 2,000 pieces? You know how long it'll take me to put together? It took me 3 weeks to put together a 2,000 piece puzzle. I guess Star Wars Jedi Survivor, there has to be some extra PC requirements. If you want to play the game on PC. Let me go to my good news place. There is a rumor coming around that there is a new Star Wars. There's going to be a new Star Wars. That's not a new announcement. What are you talking about? Star Wars Sith Disney Plus show gets new announcement very soon. So the Star Wars, the upcoming Disney Plus series, The Acolyte, just teased an upcoming announcement. Like, dude, we're getting announcements about that shit all the damn time. That ain't news. Like, we expect that to happen. News is something that we don't know anything about. Ahsoka's Disney Plus show, another huge Rebel cameo might have just got revealed. What do you mean might have just got revealed? Shit, they did reveal it. It's gonna have Zeb in there. And there we go. Yep, that's all I got. There ain't shit really. I mean, it's not.
Right.
There's some stuff out there, but it's just not really. Jodie Turner Smith opens up about joining Star Wars, the Acolyte exclusive. I mean, you can go on YouTube and watch that. Had no idea about it. Star Wars, the Bad Batch star had no idea about big season ending.
Finale ending.
Finale ending. Like, didn't nobody expect this to leave us right there? They got some new Black Series consulting coming out from the Star Wars TVC Jedi Academy. More Mando Mania Week 6. Yeah, that's about it. There ain't really... Damn, you got to get special requirements to play Jedi Survivor on PC. That sucks. I was going to get it on PC. Just so I could... Because I'm always in my studio. I ordered the whole little kit, which was $1,000 damn. Spent it on some other shit just so I can play a video game and forget about the podcast because I'm going to be playing damn Jedi Survivor. Video games are like crack to me.
I gotta play it.
Huh?
I need to play it.
Have you got
Give
it?
a good review. No, I have the PlayStation 5. I just don't have the game yet. I'll have to play it, give an honest review.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to have to do that. All right. Oh,
That's all
real quick before we jump off. So, I think I'm going to do the announcement for the puzzle, the autograph puzzle, whenever we do Revenge of the Sith. So, that's when I'm going to do that announcement. Remember last week I announced that I'm going to give away the autograph puzzles that I do? I'm going to autograph them, and I'm going to try to get all y'all to do some puzzles.
I'm excited for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, we're watching Revenge of the Sith sometime this month. So, damn, Bodhi just going off. There was a lot of things Bodhi liked. He really liked it.
I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
It's so hard with Bodhi. But yeah, so we will definitely be doing that sometime this month. We just haven't decided which Sunday we'll do it. It probably won't be this Sunday because I think my granddaughter's coming today or tomorrow, so I'm gonna be trying to spend some time with her. Well, she's not just coming; she's being born today. She's like my son and daughter-in-law are in the hospital right now giving birth.
All right.
So
well,
I'll do the announcement then, and then we will see you guys.
We'll see you Saturday.
Saturday. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but it'll be interesting no matter what. That's one thing we are good at, coming up with. Which I thought we would have done better. Our last video didn't do that great. I mean, it did all right. But I thought people would like the Mount Rushmore thing. I liked the Mount Rushmore thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, shit. I liked it. I thought it was a good idea. Shit. I wanted to do it. But I don't know. It just didn't do that well. I thought it would do better. But we always come up with something interesting. So we will see you guys Saturday morning or afternoon, just depending on where you live at. Peace.
Yep.
Stay outrageous, and may the force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. Lightsaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.